shadows in the deep, where they watch me while I sleep. Don't require your belief, offering silence but no relief. Can you scream without a sound, like the freeze that's coming down? Barren space where nothing grows, a secret place where no one goes.
Chaos Springs Eternal is a Delta Green actual play. Delta Green by its nature deals with violent themes, disturbing imagery, and horrors beyond our comprehension. Now, if you wouldn't mind comprehending some horrors with us, I think you'll have a good time.
Can you feel me in the fog, pull me from this epilogue? My hands are frozen in the snow, the eyes of corpses have no glow. Made these chains just for myself, rambling about my mental health. Demons on this hazy hill, only my soul is left to kill.
Hello and welcome back to Chaos Springs Eternal. This is Season 1, City of Woe. Whoa! Yeah, that's going to sound real good. Thank you.
I hated that.
Yeah, we're in the Dreamlands. It's supposed to be a nightmare. It's a nightmare woe.
We get
Yes.
I got Call of Duty Black Ops Zombie PTSD.
Yeah. Okay. No, you're right.
Have fun
You're right.
EQing that as well.
I'll do that.
And before the inevitable, hey Mark, can you can you edit this one?
Oh, I'm real tired. Can you guys do this for me? Which, by the way, thank you for handling that.
The funny thing is like I don't mind doing it.
He
Like,
just
I like
mutes
doing
my
it.
audio.
I like editing. I don't know what it is. It's something about finding all the little bips and boops, and I wish some of you would breathe less. I wish some of you.
I
didn't
know
have
it's
such
me because I
disgusting
also
mouth
edit.
noises.
I'm writing that one down for an insult later.
Do I breathe too much?
No,
I mean,
it's
generally, yeah.
usually-
You woke up, didn't you?
At some point through this podcast, you just hear the sound of me falling over.
Yeah, struggles, muffled struggles.
Oh, muffled struggles. That's my new.
That's not a good one. Pick a different one. Pick a different one.
I can't even remember. Nope, that's
Pick
a new band.
different
That's a
one.
band name. Muffled Struggles. That sounds like a shoegaze type of band.
It's the name of our rebrand, Muffled Struggles.
No,
wonder-
not that one.
I wonder if the rebrand will be live by the time this episode comes out.
I also like the idea
don't
that we
know.
talk about this big rebrand and then like hard cut to 6 months from now and hello, welcome back to Quartermasters of the Tabletop.
Well, here's
Nothing
the
changed.
thing: is that if we can't make a decision at a certain point, that's what's going to happen. Because
And honestly-
I'm not doing the whole naming of the podcast thing that we went through for like 6
That
months.
was hell. That was hell.
It was hell.
It was bad.
literal hell.
That being said, though, that's so on brand, and I've decided now we're keeping the name
Oh God!
live on air.
Fuck. No.
Well, I don't have that much to say up top, except obviously our welcome back, because like I have promised, we are moving into this next arc, and we are moving in hard and fast, I would say. Just a brief recap of what happened. I don't even know. Last episode, when did we? What was the start of last episode? That's one of the things that can be tough.
Pretty good. The start of last episode was pretty good. We were in Eddie's diner eating CT and eggs.
No, that was the episode prior.
Yeah, see, that was the by this
Yes?
time.
Yeah.
Last episode
Oh.
we started in Florazon Manor with Glomus.
Yeah.
Right.
And you were essentially waiting on his friend to come, and you kind of had that discussion about geishas and everyone who's under the geishas and affected by it, and how there was ghouls and stuff in town.
a lot of geisha overlap.
Yeah, you don't want any geisha interference, right? Glomus was very frank about his life and sort of the things around town, and how he wanted to double down and protect on things. And as he was talking about this, he recognized and realized that there was another ghoul here. and the ghoul shows up. And this is apparently his buddy from the Barty clan, who comes and gives a big speech talking about how Glomus has been found guilty, and that what his crimes were, revealing his identity and wrongful magics, and that he was commissioned to take him into his custody to face sentencing in the drowned cairn. And then all of you were, struck by a powerful magical grip on your body where you were restrained. And then he said, Glomus mentioned that you're interested in the Dreamlands. Well, you can go. And he then extended his arm, and you felt a cold darkness come over your body, and you all began falling. And that falling led you into the Dreamland, where Marcy and Cyril, I believe, were able to recover during the fall and brace themselves. But Joel, I think, took like 4 points of damage as he fell.
Yeah, it was
because
big.
He wasn't able to resist. And then you got to this weird, strange place, and you had lots of things around you, a different sky, mountains, trees, sort of things. And then off in the distance, you saw like a 20-foot tall creature who you, after the episode, we identified, and this is not like a secret, as a gug, with the split faced and the, arms that split at the forearms to have multiple arms. And it managed to see or detect you somehow. And so it began chasing you, but y'all were able to escape down into some fissures in the earth where you climbed down and then found a cavern. At which point you explored the cavern a little bit and came to a little bend where you noticed that there was some light around the bend, where you discovered a sleeping figure in a wagon. A man by the name of Tholen the Forsaken. And Tholen got to present you with a riddle. This riddle's been going on in my mind for a long time, because I thought it would be really fun to have, a lot of GMs, DMs, handlers put forth these puzzles and riddlers to their group. And, sometimes they have like very definite answers. And it's like, what bugs me is when it's like, oh, I have this next step in your quest, and you can only get there by correctly figuring out the answer to this riddle. And so I wrote this riddle, or not wrote, obviously this, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue is a classic phrase. But in my mind, what I wanted to do was have a sort of enigmatic riddle that didn't gate the next stage, that legitimately, no matter what you had answered, whatever you had answered, I had a response from him planned. And so I was curious which one you were going to pick, because I can justify any of the answers, right? And so depending on what you answered, would tell what he would pull out of his barrel or chest of stuff. And he handed you a maglite, like a 2000s big old maglite that takes like 9D battery cells. And it does light up, and he says, all right. He pulls out some pinto beans, and he offers to share dinner around the campfire with you. And that's where we are. Such a good summary.
Yeah, but I feel bad that we didn't make you work very hard for that. Like, I feel like we're creative enough to have been like, it's the cheese from a cow that was slaughtered on a Friday. That's what we should have said, and you would have had to come up with something.
Yeah, I'm really glad you didn't do that.
Well, you never know.
He would then give us the worst option immediately out of spite.
Right. He's just like, and podcast over.
And he pulls out a giant gun and shoots you.
A gun that none of us have seen. He pulls out a future gun.
You remember that comically long pistol that Joker pulls out of his pants?
The Joker, the Batwing.
Yeah. Tholen, by the way, he is wearing some clothes that appear from the sort of late 19th, early 20th century, so late 1800s, early 1900s. And he's definitely a strange guy who speaks somewhat enigmatically. But he's got so he's invited you around the campfire, and he's got a single can of beans with a pewter spoon that he is beginning to warm. Sort of just puts it in the coals and waiting for it to bubble up before taking a bite. but he pats some rocks around him and sort of gestures broadly, inviting you to sit.
Marcy looks to Cyril and Joel and just kind of looks around the room like, do we have anywhere else to go? Do we want to leave? Do we want to stay here for a second and just kind of see if this guy's got a lay of the land? All in glance.
I think that's the right thing. We can ask him stuff about this world, right? Try to figure it out a little bit better.
Have you seen a girl a couple years younger than me? Gives, basic description of Clementine. Feisty, my eyes.
Well, as I said, women are not common here. Things are dangerous for all travelers. And I have survived these many years, but I have met some women, none like you described. But if you are looking for a woman, you should meet the Pirate Queen.
The Pirate Queen, where's she at?
Well, that's a good question. Last I heard, she was on the island of Sighs. That's Sighs as in Sighs.
And how do we get to this island of Sighs? Have you
Well,
met the Pirate Queen?
I've only heard. I've only heard of her. I've not met her, but she seems real. There are many rumors of the Dreamlands, but some things have more substance, and this one seems to take root. I hear she provides a safe place for many travelers. If you want to find the Isle of Sighs, you'll need to find someone who can map the seas. There are people like that, but I am not one of them.
How long have you been here? And how did you come about your name?
Oh, I have been here. What year is it back on Earth?
We don't even know that, really.
Canonically,
we have no idea.
Yeah,
We think it's 2012, but we have been making references to plays from 2015.
Well, I came here in 1881. He kind of looks and he's like, I think that might be the last year I remember. I would like to go back, but at this point, there's probably nothing for me.
Where were you from?
I was from Earth.
What part of Earth?
Had to imagine, as human as you look. I meant, where on Earth were you from?
No, I was from California.
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Why? Was something happened?
Yeah.
All good things.
Don't lie to the man.
Who did you vote for?
In 1881, I had not the right to vote. They didn't grant the right to vote to the Irish by 1881.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did not pay much attention to politics. I sought my fortune hunting treasure. And this place, well, as you can see, and he points to his card, this place is full of treasure, so I did get what I wanted.
I guess you did. How is this place full of treasure?
No. You can find many things in the Dreamland if you are looking. Is there... I have already... I've shared quite the treasure with you, but...
That's true.
Is there something that you are looking for specifically?
Well, like my friend Joel here, he said that we're searching for his sister.
Yes, people can be very hard to find in the Dreamland. I could give you a start. I know of a city. There's a city in Quannock. You could go to in Quannock. There's people there who, well, they could give you perhaps a map to the Isle of Sighs. They could find people. They could help you with. And he looks up and he's like, whatever you were fleeing from. You were fleeing, yes?
No. We were... She looks around, like, seeing if people want to stop her from saying anything. We were sent here by a friend's... she kind of, like, mumbles at calling Glomus a friend now, and is like, an individual.
Mhm. Well, you are here now, so Inquanak might even be able to bring you back. If you've not come here of your own, then you probably don't know any rituals to get back. That's why I'm stuck here. Fortunately, I was never able to pay the price to return, and I found too much that binds me here.
Yeah, what was your prize?
He picks up the beans and he first he like, oh, too hot, and
They
he grabs
wanted me to part with my beans.
he grabs a grabs a little dishcloth to insulate his hand as he pulls it up, and he pulls a spoonful and blows on it, and he says, well, I'm afraid that when I was seeking treasure on Earth, I found something that was more than I bargained for, and it turns out that not all objects are equally distributed across Earth and the Dreamlands, and so if you happen to spend too much time with a particular object, especially one that is split between the two, sometimes you find yourself waking up in both, and it's very hard to keep your mind in two places. And so eventually you have to choose, and well, I saw that there was more treasure on this side. Of course, I wasn't thinking at the time that what could I do with this treasure. So now I find other people and I help them do what I was never able to, which is let go. And so that's why they call me Tholen the Forsaken. It's because no one has taken up my cause. But I don't know that I want to get back. I quite like it here. The Ghasts have accepted me as one of their own, so they leave me alone, and I get to meet all kinds of people. Bite of the beans.
How do you get around out there?
I don't travel topside. Unfortunately, that's most treasure, as you know, is found buried, and so when you stick with the treasure, you have to stick underground.
So there's tunnels everywhere around here?
Oh, yes. These tunnels, they go on for quite a way, and he gestures down to the end. He's like, they branch and they split and they end and they squeeze, but they all go somewhere. I know most of them by heart. At least the ones around here. You get a certain distance and they become blocked off, or there are things that I'd rather not deal with.
Is there a safe path to the Pirate Queen's stronghold, if she has one, or wherever?
Yeah, Iquanak or whatever.
I can find a place that will lead close to Inquanak, but you will have to. There's a bit of a tricky situation.
Okay.
That being,
Yeah, explain what that means.
Well, the Ghasts accept me, but they are quite strange. But there are others. There's something recently has moved into the underground. Comes and goes. Perhaps you saw it. The giant one.
Yeah, we saw it. Was terrifying. That's what brought us here.
Yeah, not sure where that one came from. I've seen Gugs before. The Ghasts have fought them, but they're usually much smaller. This one was so tall and frightening. I don't know. It just seemed like it popped over here just, I don't know how long ago, but just very recent. Very recent.
So, could that thing have been sent after us?
How long have you been here?
Very recent.
Very
No.
recent.
Not even an hour.
Oh, it's been here longer than an hour. But,
Okay.
who knows? Who knows?
Mm.
I don't know where Gugs come from. The gas say that they come from the other side. That people manifest them over here through their anger or hate or sadness and sorrow. I don't know. All things have a life here and there. Except for me. I'm only here.
Hold on. I know you said you've not left, and that items between this world and ours can help draw us over, but are locations connected between the worlds? Like, if we move 100 miles here, are we 100 miles away from where we were back on Earth?
I don't think so. I've not mapped any of that geography. The people who come here, they don't always seem to have control, but there may be some general correlation. But in a dream, you got to remember dreams. You must remember your dreams. You know that sometimes it feels like you've been traveling for a long time and you've only traveled, I don't know, 100 yards. And sometimes you jump and are able to fly miles. So, I cannot say for sure. The way that this place interacts with that place, it's strange, but I would suspect it might be more powerful at certain spots and crossings and places.
I'm curious. What object did you find that you had to make a decision about?
That's a good question. That's a great question, in fact. And he stands up. He's like eating, a little bit of the beans, and he hands it to Cyril, just sort of like passing it off. And he says, "One moment, let me show you." And he stands up and reaches into the back of his wagon and pulls out a long stone staff that appears like intricately carved. It appears to be made out of limestone. So it's slightly porous, and you can see fossils, little fossilized like crinoids and stuff running up and down it. At the tip, it has a sort of wooden, like, the part that's hitting the ground was wooden, and the part at the very top appears to be some sort of polished metal, but everything in between is limestone. So it's sort of this tan brown, sandy color. He says, This is what I found."
Oh, you found that while you were searching for your treasure out in California?
Yes. This is quite nice. People always wonder, why, Tholen? Why did you want the staff? Well, the staff belonged to somebody very important. I didn't know how important until I found out that the staff was cursed, I suppose.
Do you know who it originally belonged to?
I do, but I would prefer not to say. Some hear all here, and he especially.
He?
Yes, I believe he's a man. He takes the form of man most of the time. Anyway, I've not encountered him, but obviously, I've been touched by him.
So you do you know his name? Well, can you say his name?
I would not say too many names here, unless you know them very well.
Okay, well, That's a that's a beautiful staff you have there. I mean, I can see why you would trade for that. You know what I mean? Do you mind if I hold it?
No, you cannot hold it. No.
Okay. I was just checking.
Cyril, you had to know. You had to know, man.
Well, sometimes people they want to spread the joy. I don't know.
Are you gonna let him hold your organite?
Oh, please. No. But that's a different beast entirely.
You're right.
And
'cause
I
that's a
think you
stone,
know-
and that's a cursed staff.
I think that you guys know that's
Marcy turns to Joel. You think that thing isn't cursed? That Cyril's holding?
Listen, we know that one's cursed.
What are you talking about? My organite is not cursed.
He
It has
holds up and
saved
it's
us-
swirling with malevolent
saved us
energy.
multiple times. I mean, come on now. It has saved us multiple times.
I'm
It is
not
not
saying
only good things have happened to me since it's come into my possession.
I'm not saying it hasn't
What did,
saved us. I'm saying that it has absorbed a lot of negative things.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point that has to go somewhere.
And also, what
Into
did,
the organite. I mean,
what did Goldsmith say in his teaching? His preaching? The devil takes upon the form of the angels, or something like that.
I can't back you up there. You're quoting the literal vessel of
I'm sorry. Did I say Goldsmith? I did not. I'm sorry. I meant the normal priester. I'm blanking on his name now.
oh, you're going to quote that son of a bitch?
You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win.
You're not going to win that argument. I'm sorry.
Gidry.
Yeah, Pastor
Thank you.
Guidry. Listen, my organite is a purification object. It is saved us on multiple occasions by purifying souls. And I will not stand here and listen to you guys besmirch my organite. I got another one on the way.
Marcy makes a face like, what the fuck? What?
As you all are talking around the campfire, passing beans around, eating, Tholen is holding his staff. In the distance, you all hear a deep, echoing cry, like grinding metal on metal. It's faint and far, but you all hear it. And I think it kills the conversation. And you all stare down the cave. And he says, I think it is no longer topside.
We should go.
Yeah, maybe we should go.
Well, if you know a way to safety, lead on, sir.
I know a way that is safe, but in Inquinac, it's not safety, but perhaps a way to safety. So perhaps, yes. And he, begins to put out the fire, stamp it out a little bit. And you see, after he puts out the fire, you would expect it to get a little dark, but there's still that sort of bioluminescent moss. And then you notice that at the front of his cart, he's got a couple of like lanterns. And so he goes and strikes a match and lights them up real quick. And then he says, I cannot cart you, but you can walk along with me and my treasures. And he places the staff back in there, and he says, I'm ready to go if you are.
I will. Yeah, I can. Are y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of have to.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You need not come with me, but avoiding me, ignoring me might be perilous. Of course, how can you trust what I say? But you can trust me.
Hey, don't say that. Hey, please
Yeah,
please don't say
don't
that.
put doubts in our mind. We're all just barely holding on here.
I
Yes.
just learned that aliens are real, man.
Well, there are far stranger things than aliens here. Have you met a ghast before?
Are they like a ghoul?
Yes, very, very like a ghoul.
Okay,
I've
we
never
have a
quite
ghoul
understood.
friend. Well,
Interesting.
he was our ghoul friend. Ex-ghoul friend? I don't know. No,
Our
I hear
ex-ghoul
bad things
friend?
about ex-ghoul friends.
They're ex-ghoul friends for a reason.
Crazy ex-ghoul friends.
Crazy ex-ghoul friends. And the episode title is now
Yep,
in place.
yep, we got it. We nailed it.
We got it.
Crazy
Good job,
ex-ghoul
Noah.
friends is so good. I'm kind of
Crazy
mad.
ex-ghoul
Manic Pixie Dream Ghoul.
No.
Oh my god!
Why are you making me choose? Oh no.
What if there are two ghouls?
Oh gosh.
One of them is Glomus. The other,
The other one is also Glomus.
You
Yeah.
are Glomus.
You are Glomus.
Oh my god!
So because I forget what the actual connection between ghasts and ghouls is. Are they just like, is one in Lovecraft?
I can't help you there, bud.
Real quick, because I think there is a like genetic connection.
They are
Are
enemies.
They're
Gugs
enemies?
are ghouls. Gas are hunted by gugs.
Yeah, like the ghouls,
Yeah.
the ghasts have sharp hoofs for feet. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I thought they just kind of vaguely looked similar to each other. I didn't think they had like any.
Okay, cool. So he's
I haven't read like a ton about the Dreamland and all that kind of stuff though. So
yeah.
pinch of salt.
So, ghasts and ghouls are different, but similar in some ways. They, I believe, both feast on, well, you and me. And I think they both used to be more like you and me. The ghasts keep telling me that one day I'll turn, but I have not yet. And they seem to be surprised every time I come back, and I am not one of them.
So, do you think they'll just kill us on sight?
No. They prefer to hunt the gugs. I hope we don't run into one of those. Unless any of you are particularly skilled at fighting. And he like looks with a hopeful eye.
Marcy does make a face at this. I can attempt to protect. If you give me a big rock, I can throw it at something really good.
I have a handgun.
It has to be spherical, though. We do have guns.
Yes, we do have guns.
Guns are good. Guns will work against gugs.
That's good.
Oh, thank fuck.
Yeah.
Thank fuck. Marcy does just start. Yeah.
Thank God.
Most things actually will die if you shoot them enough. I've seen that happen, but the hard part is there's
Hold on.
no ammunition.
Marcy
So
does
what you
look
have
to,
is what you have.
Marcy does look to Joel. Not everything dies to guns.
Joel nods at that and checks the mag and realizes he has not reloaded the magazine, so he's like 13 rounds in the mag and goes,
Oh.
Yeah.
What I like is
Cyril
you could have
will-
just lied and said that you did. You did reload.
"That's
it.
so true. That's what I could have done, but is that what Joel would have done?"
Yeah, Cyril
I
checks his
appreciate
clip.
that. Yeah, pulls his M1 Garand and checks his clip.
Yep. Checks his clip.
I only brought one bullet for my Kimber.
Smart.
That's
They
good.
said it
'cause
was
wasn't
all I
gonna shoot
needed.
anymore.
You only need one to jam it.
You only
Doesn't
need
cycle
one
anyway,
to jam
so-
it.
It all comes
Whoa.
back to Kimber hate on this podcast.
It does. As you walk forward through through this cave, it does turn, slowly, and you do all notice a slight downward grade. And as you continue to travel, the bioluminescence continues, and there's strange echoing signs. Do any of you have like a science or any skill you might apply to caving? If you had spelunking, that'd be great. But could be just like a, survival type of roll is what I would look for.
I mean, everyone kind of has baseline navigate of 10.
I have a few extra points in navigate. I got 25 total. If someone has better than that, please.
Absolutely not. I don't know if there's anything Joel has that would make any sense unless there's like a bureaucratic hub somewhere in this cave I can get a map at. Or if a car spontaneously pops into existence.
Pioneers used to drive these for miles.
Yeah.
In the
Is that a
Dreamlands.
370Z? It's even newer than mine.
I mean, I have a
Guests are
90.
known to
I
drive
have a
around
90
in their
in
Toyota
geology.
Corollas.
I know you
Sorry-
don't have a
sorry,
90 in
Mark.
geology,
Okay, I guess.
but you could give
my handler won't let me roll. I get it.
Yep. No. I would say the only thing that you guys notice is just that there's no like water dripping sounds like you might expect in the cave.
Oh, no roll needed. Okay.
No, but there you would get more if you did roll.
Oh,
But that's what you get with no roll.
I will roll. I have a skill navigate 25. Is that
Okay, but the roll is not about how well you are navigating stuff. The roll is
Yeah.
about how you notice some features of the underground
So
that
what
are
you're
not
telling me
related to
is-
your ability to navigate.
to
I
me, so-
just wanted to make sure.
like a survival or an alertness, maybe?
I guess I would take alertness. That's
You don't.
fine.
You don't have to take anything. I mean,
No,
we
you're
just
right.
don't know much about caves, right?
Dan, I'll
Yeah,
roll
it's
survival
fine
for
for you
if
guys
want.
to not. Shut up, Noah.
We don't have
It's
to know
fine for you guys
everything.
not to roll it, to just notice that there's no water and not any other particular thing. Marcy trips on a rock and hits her head.
Ah!
That's a crazy
Oh,
man.
punishment on a 72
No,
over
we're-
10.
I know. she just stubs her toe slightly.
Ow!
I told you not to take your shoes off.
I don't. Don't put that at. Don't put. Marcy does not have her dogs out in this moment. First thing I do when I hit the Dreamlands, take my shoes
Take your
off.
shoes
Yo,
off and make,
Tholen, I hope you're cool with it, but my dogs are barking.
make fists with your feet.
Well, that's what you notice with no rolls because you don't get anything else. So, continuing further down, the cave begins to sort of open up, and finally you make kind of almost a hairpin turn, like a greater than 90-degree turn, and you realize that it opens up into what appears to be a rather gigantic underground chamber. And in this underground chamber, you see fires, campfires that are maybe half a mile away, maybe some that are maybe closer by a quarter mile, and some maybe even further in the distance, sort of on your eye line. And this, I mean, the size of this cave is hard to grasp from the initial sort of hairpin turn that opens into it, and you see that there's a winding trail that leads down to the floor of this cave. And as Tholen shows you this, he says, "Here we are. This is an important hub. There are many here, although I would suggest not ingratiating yourself with any of the Ghast clans. They tend to be very jealous. I do not like to deal with them much if I do not have to."
I understand.
And also,
So you just-
yes, we're in the Dreamlands. There's going to be some, crossover into sort of the D&D Pathfinder, Dark Realm type things. So yeah,
I was just
Like-
messing with you. You did not have
I
to
know.
bring that up.
I was more, it's also a little bit of what's the dwarven city in Skyrim?
Oh,
Which one?
yeah.
the big
fuck.
underground one,
Oh, man.
the one that connects to everything else.
Oh my god.
I cannot believe with all the mushrooms and
I know it has the dragon in it.
yeah.
Oh my god. Why?
Yeah,
am
the
I
one part of
forgetting-
Skyrim that has the dragon.
It's the single dragon part.
I got Skyrim dragon thing.
Skyrim dragon thing. Blackreach? No.
No, I think it is. I think it is Blackreach.
I think
Okay,
Isn't it?
I've got a list. Is
It
it
is
all
An immense
land?
naturally lit
Arcs and
cavern.
Thams?
it is very
Or
Blackreach-esque. It's Blackreach in the scale, not so much the aesthetic.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not like weird old school. It's not like weird the steampunk, but set in medieval steampunk.
Sure. Yeah.
But it is massive, and just even from where you are, it extends so far that you can't really grasp a scale of how big it is, nor can you see like any other exits or entrances. And you can't really see the ceiling of this either, so you don't know.
Damn.
It could be open to the sky, but you don't see any light coming down, or it could be all closed.
Okay. I cast open close on the ceiling.
God fucking damn
I
it.
have dark vision.
Don't do this to Dan, please. Please.
I'm kidding.
We're in the most dangerous place we could be. We don't need to anger Dan.
If that's what does it,
We're
we
literally
deserve
in
it.
the case where rocks
that's
can
what does
fall
it,
and
we
we can
deserve
just
it.
die.
Yeah. I cast open close on
if-
Marcy's wound that she got from dripping.
Yeah, if us making an open close and an I have dark vision joke is the thing that gets us killed, there's been past traumas that he hasn't reconciled with.
True.
Since the GCP rips us off so much, I'm going to start ripping them off.
Sounds good.
Where's my Thiorbo?
But continuing down this winding path, it's not steep enough that you are worried about Tholen, losing, being forced down with his handcart. But at a certain point, he does essentially turn the handcart around so that now he is sort of wheelbarrowing it down instead of pulling it down.
I'll try to help him where I can and not trip and fall and die. Ideally,
He accepts the help, but he's like, no, don't worry. I've made this many times just to get down to the ground. It's all fine from there. There's no. I've got it all right here. And he takes one hand off and points to his head and it slightly starts to go. And he's like, oh, sorry. Normally I don't have to make the gesture. I just think that to myself.
While we're traveling, I have two questions. One, can I just take the mag light and just see if it turns on?
Yeah, it does turn on.
Astonishing. Of course, as it's one of those massive mag lights, it doesn't light up the room at all.
No.
In fact,
Actually,
it probably makes it darker.
Hey,
Who
no,
do you
actually,
point it at
Tyler,
first?
Tyler, I need Joel to make a power roll as he turns it around.
Oh boy.
As I turn it around, I wasn't saying it was
sorry,
pointing at my face.
as you turn it on. Which
Okay.
direction are you pointing it at as you
It's-
turn it on? Are you
It's
turning it in
actually
your
a
face?
lightsaber,
Just probably like,
and it just cuts through your chest.
I'd say he's probably just pointing it like at the wall to his left or something.
Okay.
Set a power roll.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. It's a success, 15 under 70.
Okay. You turn the light on, and it you've got a fairly strong beam as you pointed at the wall to your left.
Hot damn! He'll swing it around. And be like, look at this. This is the best mag light in history.
As you swing it around, the beam of the light is it never dims with distance. It is a small, tight beam that is essentially like a cylinder that, as you extend it up, it goes on until it as you point it towards the ceiling, you notice that it goes on until it vanishes out of your visible distance. But you see it all the way until it vanishes.
So it's like a laser.
Shit.
It is as you've got it turned on. If you point it down, anything that you cast it on, you are able to see it lit up from wherever you are. But it is like a sort of 3 to 4 inch thing. So if it's really far away, you obviously can't see it. But if it's close enough, you can catch little bits and pieces.
I'll just turn that off and put it back in his pocket. I don't want to waste those batteries. I don't know why I assumed that this wouldn't be weird, wacky, goofy.
Did you check to see if it has batteries?
No, because I'm afraid it's a placebo effect, and if I open it up and see that there's nothing in it,
That's
it's going to
probably
stop
a good
working.
idea.
It's that, or it's going to be some horrible alien thing inside of it.
Doesn't all have
There's
to be
just
aliens.
an organic bug.
Stop giving Handler ideas.
You open it, it's a bug who says you.
That's not. Hey, that's not me.
You gotta
That's
eat.
Tholen in character
Yeah.
as
Yeah, I was
he's
gonna
responding to you guys.
Yeah. Joel hears him giggling, and he's just like, stop that.
I told you based off the answer, I'd give you what you needed. Clearly, this is what you needed.
Yeah, I picked the child's clothing, and you immediately went to our childlike wonder and glee.
If you
the other
choose to
thing-
interpret that way, then yes.
The other thing I was going to ask during the journey is, can Joel just, not like going through it, but just look over the treasures, quote unquote, he has in the cart?
How are you looking through the treasures? Can you describe that a little bit more to me?
Like, just kind of being behind it, like before he flips it around, right? Like, just taking a peek in every once in a while, like, just kind of like, I know you said there's like a blanket or something like that over it.
So he had his bindle, but they pulled that actually out from inside of the chest.
Okay.
The chest is like an old school, leather latch type of things. So you could open it. Are you trying to be sneaky about this?
No, I'm not trying to like stick my hand in it or anything. I just want to see if there's anything like noticeable.
Okay.
Like anything immediately intriguing, disturbing, unsettling.
The old ocular pat down.
Give me a search roll.
Okay. Failure, 72 over 64.
Okay. I think what that represents is just as you're trying to look at it, sort of as he bumbles along, and he is just sort of pointing forward and giggling and that sort of thing. Is as you look in it, I mean, it's really hard, but you would notice, even with a failure, you notice that there's like a lot of stuff in there. And while it's hard to sort of distinctly identify what's in there, it's so much that you think maybe there's more stuff in there than there should be.
How long is this everything you've been collecting while you've been here? Or is this just one trip?
No, this is everything. I give it out when needed, and I take it back when I trade, and yeah, it's all I have is here.
A lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff.
Thank you.
You got a guitar in there?
Guitar. Let me check. And at some point he pauses and he opens and guitar. And you see him like pull out a handful of things, including that pearl from earlier. He sets it down. He's like, guitar. He pulls out an empty 3-ring binder, sets it next to it. Guitar. Says, I have this, and he pulls out a violin. He pulls out a violin that appears to be quite finely made, but is clearly worn with age. But he says, "This is as much as I can get. It's the closest I could get to a guitar."
Noted. What I think he ponders it for a minute. What do you want for it?
For this? That's a good question. What do I want? What do you have? What would be a fair trade? I acquired this some time ago off a man who is coming here and exploring, delving into the Dreamlands. He only came here in his dreams.
I thought you were about to say I got it off of a man in Reno.
Just to watch him die. No.
I met a man named Johnny Cash.
What does Joel have? He will. This is stupid, but I like this. He will dig into his pocket and take the fob for his Z off the keyring.
Oh boy.
Oh wow!
Knowing he has a spare.
Oh, come on.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, milk cars come with two nowadays.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You're not wrong.
But
And you work at an auto shop. I work at an auto shop.
Yeah, like, and I think Joel is of the opinion of like, well, I don't know when I'm going to go home again. If I can have something to pass the time, dear God, if it needs to come that long, $100 key is the least of my problems.
Okay, give me a bargaining roll, some sort of bargaining roll. Could be persuade. It could be however you're like couching this. You know, I could take any skill that you want to put out.
Okay, yeah, I'll do persuade. He'll say, yeah, this is a key to a car. Horseless carriage? Were those around yet?
Is that what is that like a cart like this, but without horses? Well, I have a cart without a horse. So it's one of these.
But you don't have to pull it. It's just you sit in it and it goes. They're loud and they're fun and they're really, really fast. Right?
This is intriguing. This gives me power over the machine.
Absolutely. And there's nothing more powerful than being behind the steering wheel of a tuned up Nissan 350Z.
It's pretty impressive. You should take him up on this.
And I would like to roll persuade.
All right. Give me that roll.
I'm gonna spend 12 luck points.
All right. You can spend 12 luck. And he looks at it and he holds it in his hand and he says, I would like to travel more. This represents a dream of moving, going.
Freedom.
Freedom. Tholen the Forsaken. Free man. And then he puts his hand out. And shakes yours, and he says,
Joel drops it in his hand like a salesman to a new car owner.
He hands you the violin, which is made of it looks incredibly well crafted, just like maybe slightly tarnished, but the strings actually look to be fairly well kept up. Do either of you have like history? Does anyone have like a history or a music?
Yeah.
I'd take a music.
Yeah, I have art music.
I have history.
All right, give me history and art music rolls.
Failure 76 over 50.
I'll spend 2 luck. I'll spend 2 luck for you, Joel.
Amazing. Marcy, as you see him pass this violin, something about it just strikes you. I don't know at what point you would have come across this in your study of history, but you are well and convinced that is a Stradivarius violin.
She recognizes it from Three Stooges episodes.
Yes.
There you go.
Son of a bit. That's a Stradivarius.
A Stradivarius? And he has it like in his hands like a guitar, and he's just kind of plucking a string every once in a while. She
winces a little bit knowing that those things are worth like a lot of money, and then she's like, well, I mean, we're in the dream world. It doesn't fucking matter. Those things are worth a pretty penny where we come from.
You are right, but
We're not there.
you're not there. And what dreams do you all have? Perhaps you've traded me a dream of freedom. Perhaps this trades you a dream of beauty, of music, of peace. And he smiles as we look down, sort of. I would say that looking down at the gigantic cave below, as maybe this has taken place sort of either on the way down or once you've reached the floor. Now you look, seeing just sort of campfires in the distance, and then just again, sort of at the edge of your perception on that hearing, you hear once more the sound of metal grating on stone, grating on metal. That scream, that awful scream of that Gug. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
What a fun little episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you once again for tuning in to Chaos Springs Eternal, a Delta Green actual play. Shout out to Arc Dream Publishing for making Delta Green. It's my favorite role-playing game. Shout out to Ponzer Kings for Cocytus, our theme song. Shout out to Hideous Hiss, who I've used a few of their tracks. They posted in one of the Delta Green Discords about their music, and I've been really enjoying it for background music. And shout out to you if you are rating and reviewing us. I've noticed that we've gotten a few more reviews on iTunes, and people have been rating us on Spotify. If you do that, send us an email. We've got links in the show notes for how to reach out to us. Make sure you send us your NPC idea, and we will incorporate them into Carrefour.
What was the worst name?
You don't know how hard it is to make a logo.
You're right. I know.
That doesn't involve fucking quartermasters,
Yep.
as the actual thing. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Hang on. What if you draw quarters as sex masters, as we've learned are the male equivalents of dominatrixes?
Please, let's not bring that into this.
Oh,
Cursed-
sex
that
masters.
cursed discussion. I am good on that. Tell you what.